first time tuning in, you want to just break down some things for them. Yeah, like for instance, like rotations. Like what is Metsu thinking right now as he's barreling toward trying to keep himself safe, right?
Yeah, well, like obviously initial threats, right? You want to handle everyone here. Nice little trap play. So just even every single decision can't be broken down. The way they use traps, a lot of these players, you want to double trap left and right wall, so you cut off all plans for escape.
Right.
Something small like that. Here,
editing
his way down, right? He does not have
Sada friend, Sada Fugaro.
Kill him right there is going to give him a launch pad, of course, to get the escape route off the high ground, but just recognizing height differences, the way
Ei, vai perder Nightmare. Não dá para tomar. O Mitsu já foi. Que Mitsu? Puto, nunca vai dar para tomar o Medic. Você é burro. O Medic. Se calhar ganhou o Isso é da chinês.
I understand what's happening. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to
tell you thing. It happens so quickly, especially in Fortnite. But that's one of my favorite parts about it is just like the action, the APM, the actions per minute in Fortnite is unparalleled to any other VR I've ever experienced. And that's what really draws me to this game.
Por eso es que yo todo.
So we are looking at Moffin, who pulled through, man, took it right underneath the feet of people like Aim Hero that Zeke and I had. We had the pleasure of casting it at South Korea. He crushed it.
Yeah.
We saw Sinnoh out there. We met all, dude. It's like so surreal, dude, right?
Dude.
I remember
that story that would happen so vividly. We met him because we were like, almost like a green room waiting to go. And we saw players around us, and Aim Hero was like, he popped in the room, and we're like, oh, hey, like, hi. And I remember there was like this diviner who was standing over it, and they were like, Zeke, I love you. And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, you're Zeke and you're Monster D-Face. And we were like, wait, oh, first of all, congratulations, Moffin XD. You know, we know you're the victor, and that is exactly why 11 eliminations and the Victor Royale, 21-point game, massive lead for him. But yeah, I remember, and then they just called us out. They're like, yeah, you're Monster and you're Zeke. And I was just like, what the heck?
That was definitely crazy to think outside the country.
Yeah, that was what was
We're
so...
out the country.
I was...
Fortnite on a global scale. Yeah.
Man, how you know, that's so crazy. That was like at the beginning of the year. Now here we are, dude.
Yeah.
We
have not made a full year casting Fortnite yet. This thing is just like exploded.
Oh, goodness, the snipe coming out! Oh, wow, what a massive shot coming out of Moffin there. And look, check this out. 31 players left. He's already on 6 eliminations. This guy is crazy, and this is who is going to the World Cup Finals. This is the level of play we will see in the finals.
Moffin's gonna have to bring it when you put a player who's only experienced one region, let's just say, against the likes of the rest of the world.
Yep.
Who knows what region is really gonna come out on top. Keep in mind too though, guys, you know, EU and the American regions, the European and American region will of course have a larger presence just off of the sheer numbers, so it is gonna be interesting how the top 20 turns out, especially considering, you know, some presence a little less than others, but I mean, all these guys are equally skilled.
That's right.
In some capacity, they're all deserve to be there. All of them.
And you know what's funny too is we interviewed. In case you missed it earlier, go back and check out the VODs. We actually interviewed Sozman, the winner from OCE. And, you know, he was just basically explaining, like, you know, we asked him, how do you feel about going into the Fortnite World Cup Finals? And he was like, oh, you know, OC plays differently than NA does. And it's going to be interesting for me going to finals and competing against that because we just play so differently. So I almost, in my head, like, I just imagine everyone kind of playing their own game going into finals. But at the same time, like, you got to think, this is a $30 million prize pool. This is huge. You know, the biggest stage ever.
For different places. I mean, but that goes against everyone else too, though.
Sure.
Because that means, like, oh man, just think about it.
I think finals gonna have its own
they're gonna have a style, and of course the pressure's gonna be high, guys. I think the real question is who's gonna have the confidence to take a fight and win a fight. Like, who is straight up gonna have the confidence and just be like, you know what, I don't respect your builds, I'm pushing you. Like, who's gonna be that guy, right? Because that's really what it comes down to. If you are confident like that. That's why you see people like Bugga, Dubs, Clicks, right? Stompy. They was like, what duo are you? I don't care if you're Kinstar. I'm gonna take your wall right now.
Exactly.
And that level of play is why And dude, we've seen Stompy do it every week. Even this time around, he got 11. He was just outside of top 10, so trust me, he's still here, guys. That's what they do. They just do crazy plays.
Yeah, that's actually something you taught me way back when, is you cannot, let's say it's just Zeke, me, and I'm in this game somehow, I don't know, some alternate universe and I'm good at the game, and I'm fighting off against someone like Moffin here who qualified as that #1 player going into finals. I cannot stop and sit here and go, that's Moffin, I know what he's capable of, yeah, I can't make a mistake. I just have to go, it doesn't matter who that is, I just have to play my game. I have to play the very best that I can. And at the end of the day, that's all I can ask for, right? Like, the moment you stop and think, that's Tifu, I think that it's already, you've already made the error, right? Like, you can't stop it. And some people can't. They're like, okay, I know that's Tifu. I know he's going to try and probably do this based on what I've seen and the information I have. But if you're just sitting there and thinking like, oh, man, that's Tifu, I don't know if I can fight him, like, no, you can fight him. You've made it to finals for a reason. Take the fight if you think you can.
It's also gonna get crazy too, because for Fortnite World Cup, you guys don't know already, we're going through full games. The early game story, the contestant, the points of interest, who likes to land where the map's gonna be at that point, right? Things are gonna change, and the game is gonna be played in a way that we have not seen yet. And that's what excites me the most, is that we're gonna see 100 of the world's best under one hub, the Fortnite World Cup.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And to see all the Fortnite fans there as well, kind of cheering on the people they support, it's going to be
Are you ready to feel the crowd's energy?
I'm going to cry.
Rip through your body?
I'm going to cry, dude.
It's literally you're going to feel the vibration of the entire stadium.
Just erupt when incredible plays happen, you know.
Oh man.
Man. Ooh, dude. Chills, dude. Chills.
Chills, dude.
Oh, yeah. We just fist bumped you guys. Thanks for being Fortnite fan. We had a little bit of a moment there. We hope you had that moment with us. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Are you ready? Are you hyped for the Fortnite World Cup Finals in New York City? Alter Ego here finds an elimination, cracks that player. Now, this is his first elim. He's probably hoping for more, right? At this point, he wants as many points as possible. So he's going to look to probably play a little bit more aggressive, right? But look at everyone else. Moffin, the #1 player who came through for Asia, is in this lobby, and he's dominating the high ground. 12 eliminations, by the way.
He has just been shutting it down while we've been chatting up a storm here. Moffin going for the high ground. He's holding it. Nice little side jump right there. No errors coming out of him. And look at how he uses the boom bow to crack open all the builds. Nice little 82 right there. Here comes the pressure. Can he get the follow-up? He's looking for it. Nice little side jump. And that's another one. This player is in pickaxe territory. Bye-bye jackpot. And Moff could not even get the loot off that. Couldn't get the spoils. Another boom bow crack open right there. And when a fresh build comes out, if you do not hesitate, you send a boom bow right away, you break it all open. So that's how he's able to just like catch these players off guard, because those roof panels are just, that's it, exploding right up.
Yeah.
Down to the low ground, CXV gets one elim there, and it's Macy and Mev who's going toe-to-toe. Mob still just has the dominant position.
Yeah, I mean, so he's going to drop down. He's got the single build, so he had to take a little bit of fall damage to rejoin everyone from the stratosphere. Macy's down below, and look at this. Immediately, boom, he says, I know you heard me take this fall damage. You don't know how much it was. They go for the challenge, and Moffin was prepared. He knew. Again, it's just about dictating the game, right? He's like, I want you to challenge me. You know that I'm hurt, how hurt I am. You do not know. And just like that, dictating the game yet again, cleans up that victory out. 15 eliminations.
Points is that? It's that 25-point game.
That's
literally doubling his score out of nowhere. If you were in the top 10 and you had that come up, that's it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, guys, you know, we've had an awesome time, but for now, we're going to hit pause. Let's send it back into studio with Dr. Lupo, because I believe the doctor is in.
What a terrible, repetitive joke, Zeke, but I appreciate the effort. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Zeke. Appreciate that. Crazy games from Asia and Oceania. You love to see kind of the meta changes and how different regions present themselves and the way that they adjust their gameplay relative to everybody else. But Europe today, and as we've seen multiple times in the past, Europe has done an excellent job of putting on a show like I think few people could even possibly imagine. And to talk about that and an interesting turn of events for who ended up at the top, joining me right now is Sundown. What do you think so far about Europe?
Thank you so much, Lupo. Indeed, it was crazy. So just a couple of quick facts I want to write down. 15 points separated 100th place and 8th place. That means a 5-point victory route was the difference of going to New York City and being in the 100th spot. That is absurd. for how close it was. Blackso, in that final game we watched, pushed him up to 61 points. He was tied at 61, but because he had the victory royale and got the average elim at the end, it pushed him into the last spot. We talk about how every single interaction ends up mattering, and then unfortunately on the outside looking in, airwalks, the last play we saw, if he had had one more build, he could have made it up the elevation and kept the storm. Instead, lost it, lost the victory royale, and lost his spot in New York City. Mitro also on the outside looking in, 2 top 15 finishes, but not being enough. That lets you know how crazy it is. However, the player who took the top spot was Cypher's Andretta with a crazy run, and we're going to be joined by him right now. Andretta, man, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good.
I mean, I would hope so. So we saw you yesterday put on an incredible show, and week after week, your placings have gone up. What was the difference between this weekend and all of the other weekends? Were you just feeling it? Did you eat your Wheaties for breakfast? What's going on?
The thing is, the other weeks I wasn't that confident, but this week I decided to try and talk with someone while playing. So that kind of helped. Getting to like talk to people, getting them to calm you down and stuff. And I got good RNG. Very good.
Nice, yeah, being able to get all of that and put it together. So you got off to an incredible run, winning 2 of your first 4 games. How were you able to get those victories? Did you just dominate them out? You had a solid amount of elims. What were those wins like?
I was using the bowler to get the endgame. And then I usually found out like when I needed to drop out and stuff to go for the eliminations, and I usually had my bowler until endgame. So the thing is, you should try and keep your bowler until endgame, because it's really strong, dude. You can go out of your bowler, get a lot of kills, and win game. Also, you can use the bowler to get height most of the times.
Yeah,
so I did that sometimes.
We saw you execute on that a number of times, which is kind of something we were talking about, pushing the gameplay and actually turning the baller into something that was aggressive. Now, kind of about midway through, you looked at the leaderboard, saw you were in such a lead and knew you'd be able to close it out. But my question is, when it was all said and done, and you saw you were there, you were in the #1 spot, what did you do? Did you run around your house? Did you go tell your parents? Were you celebrating on Discord? What was that moment like?
I was celebrating so much. I actually got hosted by Symphony. My stream was going crazy. I was actually, while I was playing, like my 5th game, I started crying because I almost knew I was qualified. So that was probably one of the best moments in my life ever.
It's got to be exhilarating, honestly, to know that, especially in Europe, which we've talked about as one of the most difficult regions to qualify in, even with 8 positions, there's so much pressure there. But I got to ask a kind of a random question. I keep seeing the lighting change on your face. What are you watching right now?
I'm actually watching the Fortnite stream.
All right, you see yourself. There's layers here. There's layers. It's very Inception level. Well, thank you so much, Andretta, for joining us. Before we let you go, though, if you could do me a favor, please, 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 please shout out your own channels, shout out your duo's channels, anybody you want to.
Okay. So my Twitch is Andretta. My Twitter is Cypher Andretta. My YouTube is Andretta. And I want to shout out Shoko Laden, and all the people in that Discord. And I want to shout out my stream. Thank you so much for the support.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Again, incredible performance both yesterday and today. Congratulations. $10,000, a spot in New York City, and as Golden Boy would say, we'll have to get a slice of pizza. We'll be seeing you later, man.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely incredible. It's crazy to think just the age ranges too. You know, kids that are so young, all the way up to, I believe the oldest qualified right now is 24
right now. Yep.
Consider how much they're playing for too. I don't blame him honestly for getting emotional in the middle of even halfway through his games. It's insane.
It's just nuts to me where he's like, oh, I didn't have the level of confidence. And then right after, it's like, yeah, about like halfway through my games, I started crying because I knew I'd done it. And it's like, that's the level of confidence that you need to be bringing on the final day. Just huge shout out to Andretta. Go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch, give him all the plugs because I promise you'll be seeing more of this prodigy. Topping Europe is an incredible accomplishment, but we have more games and more regions to be getting into. We saw Oceania and Asia. Just now, we're gonna hop on into Brazil for a brief little bit. So, back on over to the cast as we go.
Thank you guys so much. Man, you know, I feel like we've just nerded out about Fortnite, but now seeing Andretta be there and just like talk about things, it makes me want to nerd out more.
Dude, it gives me the feels, man. These young champions coming up and coming out, and it's crazy. Like he said, he just knew he made it, because if you look at the track history of all the players who've qualified so far, I say it every week, it only takes about 5 or 6 games. That's all it takes. If you get 5 or 6 aces, just solid games, big points, big placement, you're knocking on the door. Right. All you gotta do is not choke the rest. Just ease it out. Just ease it out. Get a couple here, get a couple there, secure the deal, and Andretta knew 5 games in, oh my gosh, I think I got the 5 that I really needed to make it to New York City. And that was it. That was like literally it. Long behold, though, he gets first in the whole thing. European, the toughest region, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the toughest regions. Of course, you can't take away from West, who sometimes only gets 1 spot. You know, OCE, Asia, and Brazil, of course, they only get 1 spot. It's crazy. That's arguably harder, but when you talk about mass player pool, Europe is hard, dude. To get number 1 is insane.
Well, especially for Andretta, I had a card not that long ago kind of saying a few of his placement spots. Last week we watched him end in 610th place, and now the last solo week, now to see him in the final week come out as that number 1 player, you know, that's
just click.
You know, I would associate like, you know, there's 8 spots, and if you hit one of 8, great, awesome. I'm qualified, great. But to be able to say, of that 8, I was number 1. Look, you know, Tifus of the world, you guys need to respect my game. I came in number 1 in Europe. That's why I'm here in the finals. Like, let's go. It's going to be insane. Oh man, I love Fortnite so much. 23 people left in the current lobby though. Monster hopping in Storm Circle 6. Now guys, don't forget, we are hopping into Brazil games. These are live. For a moment there, we had the timer. We're about 1:30 or so left on queue times. Don't forget, it's 10 games.
An hour.
About an hour 40. Okay, I was close. Darn. I was just off by 10. We have either that 3-hour window or 10 matches to play, whichever comes first. And then obviously we're gonna, you know, make sure that, because don't forget, you can queue up even with those last few seconds and then play out an entire match. So we want to just make sure everyone has enough time to wrap up their games, get those standings out. But here we go, Peru, hopping in with him, 100 ping. All right.
Things are unfolding right now as we speak. So this is a live situation here. Brazil, known for another region that you have to pick up heavy elimination, secure placement points. This is not just a win every game and you make it through scenario. You need the elims as well. Nice shot right there from Peru. 100 ping. Connecting with the combat. Oh, bumps his noggin right there, and it's gonna cost him a second launch pad.
Yeah, you definitely want to look up. You never want to make that happen because you waste a secondary launch pad, but it's okay. New rotation coming out. He's got to reassess. He's gonna be able to get himself to safety. Now he's already hit top 15, so everything's okay. We're still in the running here. But, you know, there's a lot of big names in the Brazil region. All the W7M boys. You see the red teams, right? You know, Snow, just to name one. You know, the X-Own King. So many talented players.
Seen Techno Viking kind of
also from red, you know, man, there's so many players here that this spot can go to. Tries to challenge for the launch pad, doesn't get it, and says, Kin, I'm going to go ahead and shut you down. You took that launch pad, I need it, and that's what helps him make the rotation.
Ooh, but he does get hit by a combat. It's Ice who's in the high ground, so Peru's now found himself in a dire situation. He's got to start healing. Tony's underneath the build, putting some pressure up, but Tony gets melted by Code, Pulsari, and so does Gabriel. Just gets owned by Vanessa on the edge there. Clip node now putting pressure down. We're going to hop into his perspective here as he's looking for this combat. That's 1, that's 2. Doesn't find a 3rd, but it's okay as he raises himself up another layer. Just trying to get a brief moment of peace in this crazy storm that he's in right here. He can't even heal. A nice little stop. Fran, he catches him in the toe. It's going to keep him in the game here.
This is huge, man. He's already on 8 eliminations. When we talk about elimination counters, especially on finals, 8 is massive. You know this player has been on a spree. And look at this. Clipnote looking to play it out as technically as possible, looking for these angles, waiting for people to turn their backs and send shots over. I think he's trying to go for the wall replace.
Yeah, he hit this guy for white, so he knows he can take this right here. He's got to be careful, though. Can't let his guard down. Turns around. It's Peru, who was in a weird spot before. He was very low in health. Turns that one around. Someone else goes down to the storm right there, so Clipnote couldn't even get that. What's he going to do? He's just walking on these builds. He doesn't have anything left.
In the shadow form, he just obliterates the player. That was absolutely insane, but Clipnote is the victor of that game. Like, what, see what it did there? You maybe saw it, maybe didn't. It's okay. Next game, though, massive prop. You
the
see
clip
it.
and the this and the that.
I just rhymed. No big deal. I'm not a rapper. 44 players in the next game. Moving on in. Man, he popped that ghost right in the sky. Maybe you could call him a ghost buster.
Oh.
Shout outs to Jeff.
Right,
I made your joke. We're going to high five after this from production.
Take his joke?
Yeah, he wanted me to make the joke on broadcast, so I did it. Again, guys, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Give production some love. There's so many people that work so hard to make this all possible, and they're all wonderful human beings that I honestly cannot give and express enough love for. So just say, hashtag Fortnite World Cup production team. You guys are awesome. That would mean the world to me and to them. And an hour and a half. I guess 36 minutes. I'm just going to be specific because everyone's always like, you're rounding, don't do that. I'm sorry, it's just how I
Yeah, Zeke, there's 1 hour and 36 exact minutes and 13 seconds at this exact moment. Every second, every moment matters.
Right. Here we go.
Fax trying to get this guy to come down. That redeploy, gets behind the tree. Tree works on his favor and shadow bomb.
You saw through. He was like, dude, I want this elim. I worked real hard. I need to find it. And they shadow bomb out. They're like, no. And in the end, it was the elimination credit. He must have fallen to the storm. Don't forget, with those recent changes, you got to be more careful, man. That 60-second timer, you can't play around with that.
Dude, he must have. I can only imagine in shadow form, if you wall hop off of a structure and it throws you back just a little bit. It must have been just enough to hold him into the storm.
Yeah.
And that's how Fax caught that elimination here. As the congestion, this is unreal for the Brazil region. You don't see it get this crazy, but 40 players basically on a non-moving zone right now. We're just approaching the first. Luco boy finds Mew Pal there, and Oni Tomori is putting in some pressure as well. Just kind of see what he can find here. Fax just waiting on by, trying to...
He's got the launch pad.
Holding it in the hand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give it away because if you put it down early, it does make that sound and players know, all right, community launch pad. There you go. Great. Making sure that the storm overtakes it, so if anyone else wants to do it, they take the damage for it. Bro, we're nowhere. It's still 9 players. 8 players need to fall before top 25.
Yeah, this is actually insane right now. These guys are sticking around for placement in these final moments here. But if you want to take first place, you got to get Ealings here, and that's why Fax is being so proactive right now.
Something to point out, too. Check the right side of your screen. The damage threshold, don't forget about that. Look at this number, though. 1,000 damage above the threshold. This guy is putting in work right now. Fax, he is going full send. He is aware. He wants to try and qualify. Remember, there's a spot up for grabs in Brazil, and these are live games happening right now. So, you know, Oceania and Asia happen overnight. We still have to crown a champion coming out of the final solo week for Brazil.
Yeah, Fax is already at 13 points, so if that was his game 1, he's way ahead of the curve here. This might be about his 3rd or so, but nonetheless, he's still in the running right now. These are some respectable points to be had. He's going for the high ground. Clothesline to Zoom, straight up, hits him with the 96. And now, he's in it, but he's gonna go down to the low ground here. He doesn't want to contest for the high. He still has to pop some minis, and the server's collapsing on him with raining fire here. He's got to be extremely careful. Lucky for him, the high ground is in a battle of its own now. Fax catches a moment to regather himself as Ganks and Lorax is in the high ground.
Man, and look at all these players coming in from the community launch pads, any rotational tools they had, the Rift to Goes. Oh, yeah.
That's a weird place to be, man. You can't build on that thing.
Yeah, Yeah, you got to be careful. You have to build over it.
Up and over.
A shot into the storm.
Oh my.
That is Tuela's picked up 2. Tate as well. Frita, batata frita. 2 eliminations of aim.
Is that another? Oh, that one's just going from him. He almost had it. But credit is still to be had here as he is turning up right now.
Bro.
I can't pronounce that the way Zeke did, but batata frita is going in right now. He's looking for this high ground.
You see the technical builds too, using the cone and then hopping out around, using that floor to catch yourself so you kind of save a build there. All right, batata frita. I'm about it. An 82 and a follow-up. That is Lorax.
And he got the mats. That's what's important here. He does have the materials to hold out now. The high ground is his. Can he stick it out though? Yes, players are dropping right now. We're in top 6 suddenly. So all these placements are being divvied out. Just one more person goes down and just a little bit more is going to be rewarded to him here.
Man.
You can see the shot there.
This was really good from him, right? Making the decision to go high ground. Look at this. He's put him in the top 5. We were top 25 when we kind of tuned into him, right around there. And because of his decision-making, he's gotten himself all the placement points. The victory route is the next threshold. And look, Monster, he's just looking to close this out.
That's right, and I love it, because he's just textbook holding his high ground, but he is out of mats now. So this is where you have to go down, uses the cone right there to sit on that, and he just has to give the high ground to Avir here.
I believe that is Avalar, I think.
Oh, Avalar, gotcha.
Yes,
gotcha.
I think so. Sundown can correct me at some point. He's going to go toe-to-toe with that player, though, and that is it. Good day, sir.
All right, did he get mats off that? He didn't, Zeke.
He's got the flint knock, though. He's got...
he's at the combat, so he's got right there. One more shot to Wonder Urzen is going to go down. Is he going to go down? Yes, he is. Frita connects in the final moments right there and walks away with the 6th elimination victory royale.
Man, 16-point game coming out of the Brazil region. You like to see it. Now, Fortnite fam, you know we've had so much fun hanging out with you, but for now, let's sit it back in the studio and see what Dr. Lubo's got.
Thank you, Zeke. Thank you, Master D Face, you legends. I know a lot of people are wondering, and yes, we're going to look at it here in a second, because the tension in Brazil is high. South America putting on an excellent show, and we want to see what the standings are, so I'm going to take a little stroll on over, and we're going to look at the board and see exactly where everybody is lining up right now, and here you go, top to bottom. Clipnote sitting at 51 points, 4 games played in 2 victory royales, but on his tail, only King, 45, just 6 points behind, and only 3 games played. You see the spread here, not too far away from each other. Multiple players from previous qualifying weeks. King, code Knicks right there. Both players already have made their way. They've already punched their ticket to New York City, but consistency is key, as you can see here, an example of exactly that. You love to see it. Brazil, thank you so much for everything you've done for us so far, putting on an excellent show. But before we get into the rest of the games of the day, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, so don't go anywhere except for maybe to the bathroom. Oh, sorry, half hour. I do this every time. Production yells at me repeatedly. I don't know how to tell time, all right? 30 minutes. Go get some lunch. Swing on back. See you in a bit.
estou lagado. O pior é que eu estou bem lagado, mas Peraí que eu já lá vou meter aquela cena do correr em disparado.
Não, isso também já.
Está tudo bugado, meu. Eu também, puto. Eu tenho esta questão dos badalões umas das outras.
Eu medo sempre azul. Shift, eu só não.
Rasgadíssimo, puto. Espetáculo, bro.
Espera,
Está tipo a dar soro, mas...
Então.
Estou 20 HP. Eu estou 20 HP, mano. Tu só te curas, esse é que é o problema, velho. Desse, mano. Tu curas-te e acertas tiros cagados da merda. Faz invasão, please. Bro. Sei lá, puto, eu ainda vou estar em stream até à 1 da manhã, por isso só depois da 1 é que eu vou começar a fazer invasões. Oh, mano, porquê?
Tirita, jogo.
Posso descer?
Eu faço?
Caneco, tu já estás a subir?
Juro, tenho 2. Eu não há, vou é como que te quer. Tu vai. Ajuda? Não, caramba, não tem net. Tem pouco, tem pouco.
Onde é que estás, velho? Onde é que estás? Obrigado. Eu acho que depois podem voltar, mano. Eu vim para o lugar daqui. Seguindo Diogo, YouTube, obrigado.
Gorgeous.
Eu não posso te dar sub, meu puto, depois desta bola, mano. Bro. Guarda que só esquece, velho.
Eu vou por aqui, mas eu vou por aqui, porra, tem que ser assim.
Oh, bro, mas tu... Não, puto, não é isso, é easy de se fazer. Aquilo que tu fizeste é literalmente clicar no T e ficar a clicar X e ficar a clicar no mouse, velho.
Assim. Peraí.
Foda-se, meu, eu fiz sempre. Mas eu pelo menos não preciso usar duas chances para te matar. Oh, estou parado, velho, mesmo assim. Bora, maltinho. Ando a jogar com sub, já não tenho muito tempo. Bro, a cena é essa, que eu se calhar eu vou fazer uma live específica para jogar com sub. Porque eu agora tenho...
Take
Porque eu
my
agora estou focado
heart
na sub. Podes fazer parceria comigo também. Depende, pá, porque eu encontrei o guarda-altos por acaso. Diogo, calma aí que eu já te estou a ir lá dar sub, meu puto. Não, calma, tipo, porque eu encontrei o guarda-altos por acaso. Diogo, calma aí que eu já te estou a ir lá dar sub, meu puto.
Ok, a gente está a fazer parceria.
Não, calma, tipo, Diogo, já te dei sub, bro. Não tem a ver com isso, bro. Diogo, já te dei sub, bro. Tá.
Olha o meu primo, comentou aí na tua stream agora. Olha o meu primo comentou na tua stream, ou eu digo, peraí, o pessoal da tua stream está-me a ouvir.
mas só que eu estou parado. E já te mandei ganhar nosso scope, não?
What?
Foi ao ladinho, foi daquela montanha, mas foi ao ladinho.
Tentar.
Mas que azar, caralho. Oh, puto, mas tu estás a brincar, mas quando eu te dou um tiro...
Mas se calhar um dia vou fazer live 24 horas.
Quantos anos tens? Tenho 19 e tu, Santos? Já agora? Agora vocês já me dão tipo assim mais porque eu estou a deixar crescer a barba. Mas eu vou fazer, tipo, a minha mãe não curte-me ver de barba e eu acho. Então bora, só no scopes. Só no scopes. Só no scopes, concentra. Só no scopes.
Agora o PC, se calhar vou mudar de tudo a live.
Zana responde, não quero puto. Aliás, manda-me um vídeo a mostrar o teu code. Também posso ser com vocês que estou a ver. Isso é que é só nosso cão. Isso é que é só nosso cão.
Estás a brincar.
Não, mano.
What the fuck, banana. Banana. Oh, mãe! Mãe! Oh, mãe! É com o caralho. Oh, mãe! Mãe! Surda! Ai, liga. Cinco. Eu tenho. Não. Calma aí, pessoal. Borradeiro.
É porque a nossa jogada tem que estar de errado. Não, mas essa vez eu escrevi. Não, mas essa vez eu escrevi. Não, mas essa vez eu escrevi bem. Foi não.
Esquece o quê? Estás a brincar com quem não brinca? Perdemos na cama para parar.
Já está.
Está bom. Posso ter uns amigos?
Mataste muito bem, estava a 12 de vida. Eu mandei-te um scope, puto. Contigo é forte, é calado, cara. 6. Mataste muito bem, estava a 12 de vida. Eu mandei-te um scope, puto. Contigo é forte, é calado. Para quem joga no PC, o teu primo joga bem mal. Desculpa lá. Olha, moto. Tens que ir. Apresenta essa promoção só quer tudo de aulas. Oi. Queres que eu te dê aulas, bem? É verdade, mas eu está a precisar de aulas. Tchauzinho, bro. Isso são aulas, bro. Não. Olha, isto aí eu não constrói. Mas não achei sério que partiste tudo a verdade. Manteve. Fuck, eu demorei bem de tempo tipo, a pensar em disparar, estás a ver? Eu sabia que tinha, certo? Olha lá, bro. Ainda bem que eu construí aquela escada, eu sabia que ias fazer isso. Oh, pois para, oh, Gordox, foda-se.
Brau. Sim, olha, eu digo, leva isto. Leva, leva. Sempre faz favor. Leva as gomas, também não quero isto aqui. Mãe, leva! Olha, vai para o chão. É sério. Pega nisto. Faz assim. Saltas. Mas cá para si. Oh, parte desta merda. Vamos assim. Metes aqui.
Como é que ela posso jogar? Daqui a um bocado, bro. Agora ainda não. Mas já, daqui a um bocado tu já vês.
Uma coisa. No chão. Deixa. Pera. Não me chames mais, já ouvi, se faz favor. Não me chames mais, já ouvi, se faz favor. Estás a brincar, né? Como é que eu morro? Não sei mais. Vou ter que estar a fazer isto ali.
Bora, bro.
Mas não peguei. Mira que merda.
Não, mas cara, eu sou isso. Oh puto, what the fuck, mano, então. Ai, puto. Buguei, mano.
Pô, caralho.
Não é tipo assim. Vai ser para a loja
Calma.
e compras os
Putz.
em vez de...
Não quero focar. Quero olhar. Ah, porque não tenho mais.
Porque eu estou a fazer melhor os 90s. Para o lado esquerdo do que para o lado direito. Unicamente para o lado esquerdo é mais difícil. Olha esta merda, boy. É que é tipo, mano, eu chuto. Eu estou todo. Foda-se. Eu estou todo bugado, mano.
Até que eu acho que é muito me matar.
Não, tu só soube.
Ah.
Mas é verdade.
Estou simplesmente a ver as afetos. What? Estou a fazer Estás a brincar.
Oh, mas tu vais me dar uma coisa, é que eu agora não sei se estou a fazer.
Deve estar a brincar.
A minha ilha está pelo
Come on.
Aí não esqueça, do Tuga as armas são... No do Tuga as armas são azuis. Anda para aqui tudo. Eu vou jogar com armas.
Nunca acerto.
Melhor.
Cara, devia ter pegado aquele lado. Não, não devia. Era dentro. Nunca não foi para nenhum. Só queria play. Agora
Eu acho que está tudo, eu espero que esteja bem.
Putz, só tenho 3 de butt, estás a brincar. Não quero desligar, então quer dizer mal vou desligar. Oh mano, que raiva que me aconteceu. Sério? Ah, piraste um pouco de flare. Esperar a serva, vão curar muito fast. Será que eu nem meto tenho para brigar? Vai ser um outro cara. Prefiro dar um gajo. Puto, é X. Tiago, não namorar agora. Oh, caramba. So we're gonna build 5. Não, acertei-lhe! Puto, não contou mal, porque... Akuma. O caralho, tchau.
Foi sem querer, é porque eu não mexi nisso. É porque eu não fiz numa altura só. Foda-se, como é que é essa merda? Eu andei para trás, como é que é essa merda? Yes. Ai, que sorte, bro! Tu saíste ou tu ainda levaste cater? Fugir ali era grande cara. Ah, bro, que merda, ia-te matar. Ah.
Não quer mais. Não quer mais.
Foda-se. Ah, que nojo, boy.
Não quer mais, já disse. Já disse, diz-me só uma vez, não quer mais?
Sério? Não. Não. Eu disse sério porque, tipo, eu editei, mas mesmo assim, tipo, a edição não foi. A edição foi também. Olha, bonito, lindo.
Não quero. Oh, ai.
Não, bro. Não, que azar, boy, que azar. Oh, puta, eu estava a partir o chão e a trap de baixo estava a ativar e não estava a dar dano. A trap de baixo tem isso, é bastante. Mas ela ativou. Mas a cena é que ela ativou ao menos.
Não, já te avisei.
A cena é que tipo, eu subo 2, eu rodo o analógico e ele não vai.
Mãe, já te avisei. Não posso, agora estou a jogar. Deixa acabar a partida.
Estou no lobby.
Mãe, deixa acabar a partida.
Let's go, maltinha. Deixa eu ver, tranquilo. Posso jogar, bro, sim, trazia.
Não tenho net, já. Já, mano, foda-se.
deixa o teu like, meu puto, let's go. 103 likes, bora lá. Hoje eu fui tomar merda, não quero. Oh meu, já teve bom à tarde, mano. Espera aí, deixa-me lá e ver como é que é aquilo. Olha aí, Tomás, já encontrei a tua vocação. Estás a ver este joguinho que agora há dentro do Fortnite? Já é excelente, é para ti, boy. A Epic criou este jogo para ti, exatamente para ti. E este aqui que estás a ver, para mim, mas eu estava a dizer cenas da loja tipo, imagina. Pois. Não, bro, mas jogas ou não? Não, Tomás, mas anda lá a jogar, puta, então. Olha aí. Bro. Putz. Olha aí, oh, mano. Jordax. Para pagares, eu falo com o Carlos e tu pagas ao Carlos. Porque o Carlos faz-te sempre mesmo tipo 100%. E é pá, claro, o Carlos paga que oh, que bala, puto. Este Nick jogou muito. Este Nick jogou tanto, ok? Puto, depende, imagina. Tu podes... Depende daquilo que tu queiras, porque imagina. Tu tens PayPal ou não? Não, né? Não, imagina que tu tens 5 euros, tipo, tu podes falar comigo e tu dás-me tipo os 5 euros em PaySafe e eu pago ao Carlos em PayPal. Tranquilo. Oh my god, que funny. Putz, estes gajos. Morreu. E matou. Oh my fucking god, bro. Olha a bola, vai. Olha o gajo da bola, vai. Já entro, bro. Eu só quero acabar de ver esta. No fim desta
eu não tenho fome, já não tenho fome.
Morreu. A cena é tipo, ele está num high ground tipo gigantesco. E cá em baixo eles vão se lixar por causa da montanha. Morreram todos. Oh my god! Bro, eles vão morrer todos porque ele lá em cima bem tranquilo da vida, bem, só mesmo a segurar, bem tranquilo e ganhou. Como assim, boy? Ele ganhou muito mal, boy. Boa noite, bro, boa noite, mano. Bora, vai, já dei ready. Guarda-te, demoras. Deixa eu só dar aqui o meu agora. Não está a fazer o barulho. Boa noite, Lost. Boa noite, meu puto. Malta, não se esqueçam de dar temos com 2617. Vamos ser isso, os 2617. Bora lá. Ó, Tomás, tens o Razor. Tens o Razor. Reset King. Boa noite, boa noite. Reset King, meu puto, não te esqueças de estar sujo. Let's go. E tipo, se tiveres a conta do teu pai ou alguma cena assim,
Pois, só consumo mesmo demais.
não vou cá ficar até longe, já falta bem por isso.
O quê?
Infelizmente, digamos que meio que a minha energia acabou, porque já não tenho mais peps, mas... O resto vai à água. Já vou por isso. Portugal, eu sei que Portugal ganhou, mano. Estou muito feliz pela nossa nação, cara. Não me ouves? Não, porque eu deito muito porque estavas a fazer barulho. Oi. Tu onde é que queres ir? Bora, moças. Mano, a Razer, pronto, Tomás, puto. Nós já vamos fazer uma ou duas contigo, boy. Aí, guarda-te, mano, nós temos que ganhar uma, boy. Tipo, tu não fazes ideia de quantas é que eu já fiquei em segundo. Principalmente em Soul, putz. Ok. E o que é que tu tens que fazer? Divulgar o canal? Como assim? Oh puto, é capiça, maniato. Oh puto, é por causa desta merda que eu não curto jogar contra gajos de PC, puto. Eu juro, se eu morrer, eu fico este gajo e não jogo mais com ele. Mano, não vou estar a jogar contra gajos que tu estás aqui e os gajos lá de cima lá do cara já te estão a ficar. Porra, meu. Estão lá em cima, sei lá onde, puto. Estão lá tipo no monte. Pois é, tipo. Isto é um contra isto, eu queria acontecer. Boy, e é que depois esse gajo nem sequer é bom o suficiente para nos carregar, boy. Porra, meu. Isso é um custom? Não é, Alexandre. Olha bem para esta merda. estou-me a cagar, puto. Não jogo com gajo de PC, foda-se. Noob da merda não faz uma pizza, boy. Dá-se tu, boy. Porra, vai que a pizza, caralho. Tchauzinho. Foda-se, anda do boy. Esta merda, caralho. Foda-se. Estou a jogar com um gajo. Tipo, estás a brincar o quê? O gajo entra, diz que é para vir jogar e o gajo está a fazer nada. Ganda Roman de sopa, meu puto. Estás fixe, bro. Roman, já tens sub, meu puto. Se tu mesmo pudesses estar sub, mano, juro-te, curtia bem mesmo. Por isso, let's go. Confio, sub, mano, agora não. Let's go, bro. Deixa o lobby aberto. Não vou deixar o lobby público e não vou jogar agora. Quando chegar... Posso ou não? Podes, quando chegarmos a 2620.
Aham. Agora. Ter de bomba.
Puta, eu estou com um grande azar, boy. Nem estou a dizer nada, boy. Eu estou com um azar de merda no loot e com um azar de merda nos gajos que vêm jogar comigo, porra, meu.
Não.
É tudo bué da porão, mas leva tudo grande a pau, meu. É tudo bué da porão, mas é só no criativo. Porque são creative and aldeia. Se são creative players, puta, estou-me a cagar, boy. Boa sorte para vocês. Vou pro troll, man, please, boy. Tu só disseste boas, não disseste mais nada. Come on, maninho, dá isso, let's go. Pode subir. Tens noção que eu leio, tens noção que eu leio praticamente tudo que eu faço e escrevem. Foda-se, que sorte que este gajo tem, caralho! Que sorte que este gajo tem, foda-se! Oh, mas não, boy, eu tinha de chegar. Como assim, boy? Já viste bem a caga deste gajo, caralho? Eu estou agachado, ele só-me acertei de shots. Entra aí, puto, vai-te para o chest. Vai lá, bro. Vai lá, bro. Entra. Entra, boy, ele vai rodar o chest. Tá bom. Toma, mano. Olha um. Não, cara. Olha, Martim, só para dizer uma coisa. Não sei para que me disseste aquilo, vou dar dislike, porque tu é que sabes, bro, e já agora só te tenho uma cena a dizer. Disse aquilo por 3 minutos, primeiro. Já aumentaram-se, obrigado, amor. Faltam 2. E esse não já vos conto. Primeiro, Tomás, tens 3 princípios. Primeiro, não curto jogar contra gajos de tempo. Segundo, é só tens jogar contigo porque achei que tu ias rushar connosco. Ou que tu ias pelo menos estar connosco. O guarda morreu, eu fui à fight, tu continuaste a dar para nós. Continuaste a fazer o quê? A partir árvores ou lá o que é que foi, cara? Como é que é isso, ninja? Estás fixe, bro? Agora, se quiseres dar dislike, é contigo, porque isso não me vai afetar em nada. Só para te informar de uma cena, Tomás. Sabes que like e dislikes são likes enganados. Por isso eu estou-me a cagar. Para mim é tudo likes. Queres que eu subscreva? Claro que é, não podes fazer, maninho. Se tu pensaste que tu, bro, eras estranho. E se também pudesse estar aí o teu mega likezão, ainda eras mais rei. Onde é que era? Obrigadão. Estava a matar o dois. Não, então está a matar, estou-me a cagar. Eu dei que a trepa em 2. Eu dei que a trepa em 2. Eu já estava os dois com shield. E não curto jogar contra gajos de PC por 2 motivos, puto. Os gajos estão aqui e estão-te a picar, caralho. O gajo ainda nem tem arma e já te está a picar. Isso, na minha opinião, não é tipo, desculpa, velho. Quem jogar, joga. É, eu guardo que seja esse passo. Bora ao da essa. Obrigadão, meu puto. Já dei like. Obrigadão, meu puto. Bora aqui. Tens quantas wins? Tenho para umas 300 no total. 200, 300, mano. Não sei de cá, puto.
Ei, mas que noob foi esse, viado? Peguei esse de tiro, assado.
Eu tenho 14 ou 15 a solo, tenho umas 40 ou 50 a duplas, tenho umas 150, 130, não faço a mínima, a squads e tenho umas 100, também por aí, umas 100 e below a outra cena. Não, a MTL.
Puta, dois gajos.
Não, mas é MTL. Mas eu tenho.
Olha, os caras vão lá me picar.
Foda-se, mano, levei 2, caramba.
Tudo lá. Que o gajo não sai.
Estão mortos.
Passa a missão. Puta, esse cara tá na sala da frente.
Eu matei 2, puto.
Ah, mudou.
Mas já os mataste mesmo? Talvez 2 depois vai dar bonitas, velho. Se eu tivesse morrido para algum daqueles gajos, eu seria aquele. Faltam quantos? Eu acho que já está ali para quê?
Cheio, estou todo no meio de uma partida.
Já está a 620. Eu já contei, mano. Só te vou dizer uma cena, bro. Eu sei o que é que tu fizeste. Tu criaste as contas, né? Agora vou-te pedir uma cena. Valida as contas, velho. Valida as contas. É porque se tu não validares, elas tipo, a 2 minutos vão sair.
Foda-se. O vídeo desse cara é bom, hein? Tô com uma raiva desta merda agora. Foda-se. Eu fiz assim. Não vi nada, puta, esse gajo aí tá a viver de rifts, caralho. Torrado.
Eu não criei contas. Eu pedi aos meus colegas para darem sub. É assim, bro. Se foi assim, está tudo ok. Agora, se criaste as contas, bro, também não tem mal, puto. A única cena que eu te peço é que eles valides no game mode. Porque senão elas depois vão sair, vai. Quando o YouTube for fazer a revisão, elas vão sair porque vão aparecer como contas fake. Até tenho print. Não, bro, não.
Ué. Força.
Dois partes do caralho. Quanto eu sei que estão muito a soro.
Quando ele estava bem em cima, se calhar deu para ver. Forra-se. Está na série. Yeah, GG.
Onde é que é? Onde é que está?
Vamos dar um cote?
Não mate. Bro, preciso de loot, cara. Tem calma. Ai. Tenha cuidado para não cair, velho. Tens um kit. Tem cuidado para não cair. Fecha-te.
Estou contra praias. Estás a brincar que gosta?
Não, desculpa lá. Nenhum de nós todos, nem eu nem tu, jogamos bem. Se tu tiveres noção da bola. Não, está bem. Nós jogamos melhor do que estes stones, mas nem eu nem tu jogamos bem. Para mim, para tu jogares bem, tipo, tu não podes errar bolas fáceis. Porque tu me conseguiste trazer uma grafite no total. É que a tua tática é branca. Olha o gajo. Aqui. Para, tens um gajo aí que é contigo, bro. Tens um gajo aí que é contigo para ir buscar. Não é tirolesa.
Olha o barulho, mano, não estou a ver o jogo.
Morreste. Mataste.
Olha o barulho, mano, não estou a ver o jogo. Olha o barulho! Estou a gozar.
Cura-te.
Mano, eu vou usar essa fenda e vou dar o gato para lá.
Estás morto.
Tchau. Ai, eu não sei fazer. Uau! Tenho muito medo de fazer, por isso vá. Estou...
Ou vou tentar começar-me a rir, tá mal.
Estou muito mal.
Uma fogueira.
Caralho, lava! Bitches, sério que não puxou primeiro? Puxou aqui para a merda da montanha.
Se eu não tivesse estado a gravar a esta altura, está bem. Eu tenho mais uma. Fica aqui,
Puta, eu não tenho pump, agora é que vê.
Socorro. Quando é que
não paga nenhum, gasta... Ah, puta, é tudo PC, caralho, joga tudo a scream, velho.
Se entrarmos na bola, velho, quando lá chegarmos eu meto outro. Quando chegar, se houver
bola, que careca.
Quando eu vou lá chegar vou meter outra fogueira e nós entramos nas bolas e vamos todos.
Faço bem lá.
Caga, mas eu vou meter uma fogueira ao pé dentro da casa.
Cara, vai se desistir. Espero não estar ao pé da casa.
Está aqui dentro, mas aqui dentro há a bandagem.
Se calhar esta bola vamos começar a baixar o maninho mais. Começar a perceber que a fogueira é baixo. Começar a perceber que o filho está amigão. Começar a perceber que eu gasto um tempo. Começar a perceber que eu não quero editar. Começar a perceber que eu quero carregar. Ai, é que mal, ué. E começar a perceber que já deixei o gajo bem assim. E o gajo roubou um ganho daquilo. E estava a levar focos de um paneirão. Vai fechar logo. Foda-se. 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 Para, otário. Não, porque gasto de cremes. Que detesto. Lá, foda, deve casa de crema. Sei que as caras aqui não sabem fazer um jogo. Tu vais jogar assim. Sou eu contra 3? What? Tá bem um gajo. Outro gajo está dentro da safe. Tá bom, 27. Mais 27. Olha, vai tocar. Para. Tô todo lagado, não posso cair, senão vou. Caralho. E a Didi, mano, deixa eu gajar sordo. Não!
Olha, Daniel Demer, eu tenho a certeza que tu vais ter um gol temporário, boy.
Não devia ter jogado aquela bomba ali.
Apanha as granadas. Rápido, não são esses.
Tudo caro.
Queres ao filho da puta? Ao animal do caralho. Vai lá dizer isso aqui, vê se vês. Não vens, é quem vê és um puto. Se viesse aqui apanhavas nesta boca como os teus pais nunca te deram, ou como a tua mãe que leva na cona nunca te deu. Mas vamos lá, vá. O que é que tu estás a fazer? Tens o gajo em cima.
Estou fora. Ai, porque é que eu te avisei? Para tu tirares o vídeo. Espera. Não? Para que estou? Espera, é algum branco e preto? Não. Espera.
Vida, como vais fazer? Não vais ficar? Eu Eu curto a cena assim, tipo, mais animada, estás a ver? Mas, yeah. Tranquilo, bro, eu depois dou-te o meu número. Dou-te o meu WhatsApp. Atira. Vá lá. Tá bem, mas por isso mesmo está um x1, boy. Está um x1, moço. Se tivesse mirado um pouco mais à frente, talvez tivesse assim.
What? Ué?
Se tivesse mirado um pouco.
Ah, foi mal. Podia esse gajo desborda a casa normalmente.
Assim é. Devias ter mirado um bocadinho mais à frente e mais depressa.
Ai, agora que não quero. Puta surra que ninguém.
Alexandre, já livre. Mas eu e o guarda que são os dois à parte, já fez também uma tipo. Puta, na madeira, boy. Eu também. Não, boy, eu não sei. Quer ou não, boy?
Oh, putz, esse quarto entrar.
Fica assim, ninguém te vai ver.
Eu estou a estar bruto.
Olha o gajo parado. Olha o gajo parado. E tu perderes? Ias morrer de imagina que um para o outro, a minha cena foi que eu ganhava, não falar que eu morrer. Amanhã só podes ir. Puto, cuidado, vais uma grande snap da bro. Oh, puto. Nefe, bro, nefe. Tanto tempo, meu.
Se acabar, vou acabar esta live e depois vou começar. Só que não apetece. Era para ver. Percebes? Só diverto-me mais. Para vocês.
Olha a sniper daí, tipo.
Só que
Olha a sniper daí, tipo.
a pessoa